Right, good evening, everyone. So tonight I'm going to be talking about Zoom virtual backgrounds. What, why, and how. But before I do that, as always, let me give you a quote. Will Rogers once said, "You never get a second chance to make a first impression." Now keep that quote in mind as we go through this. I'm going to outline the three parts I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk what are virtual backgrounds, why would you use a virtual background, and how to use a virtual background. So what are virtual backgrounds? Virtual backgrounds are overlays that you put behind you to disguise your actual background. Now they can be either static images, like in the image I'm displaying here, or they can be moving videos like the palm trees that Neil likes to use. You've got a range of options there, and you can use pretty much any JPEG or PNG file you can find, depending on your platform. Why would you want to do this? Well, there's a number of reasons. There is the whole idea of if you're in a business environment or you're doing something professionally or commercially, you could use the virtual background, as I'm doing in this image here, to brand the content. So this is actually from the podcast me and Mark started back when I thought I was going on furlough. Didn't happen that way, but we will get back to it. And as you can see, the logo is behind us. Now, I could probably do with making a slightly better version of that logo that you can read without the "ACT being blacked out. But it establishes the idea. It's professional looking and you can see the brand. What are some of the other reasons you might want to use a virtual background? Well, behind me, believe it or not, is lots of clutter. Things I'd rather not be on the video. And the virtual background allows me to hide that. So it's always worth keeping in mind. But also in a Toastmasters capacity, take, for example, what Kirsten is doing. Tonight, she's doing the timekeeping role, displaying the red, the yellow, the green, and possibly a stop card. I'm not sure on that. But you can do so much with virtual backgrounds to enhance your own speech or presentation. So how do you use a virtual background? Well, there's two methods to do it. One involves a green screen, like you see here, and the other relies on virtualization. I'll get into that in just a minute. So with Zoom, assuming you're on a PC or a Mac, in order to use the virtual backgrounds, you can either access it from the main screen. When you log in, you're presented with this. And if you go up to that little cog in the corner, that little settings wheel, you can get into the settings menu and then choose the virtual backgrounds tab. From there, you can add your pictures with a little plus icon, decide whether or not you're going to use a green screen or use the own virtual one. That's one way to get into it. An easier method, if you're already in a Zoom call, is to press that little button down there and choose virtual backgrounds. Either way, you'll get to the same place. So let's look at the green screen method. Take, for example, this girl here. 1 minute in front of a quite gaudy green screen. And it's green because it's a color you're unlikely to have for any normal reason, which makes it easy for the camera to pick it out. 2, in front of a window, or whatever background you choose. This is good because you can do it on any device. You don't have to meet any technology requirements. Downside, you do need a green screen. I don't have one, but perhaps you do. The second option, provided your computer is powerful enough to support it, you uncheck the "I have a green screen" option, like I've done here. You have to have a 4th gen i7 or equivalent processor, or more powerful, in order to do this. Otherwise, it simply will say "system not supported." And then you get the virtual background, like you see here, or as I'm doing now, live. So you can see the Act Show one here. That's done without a green screen. And in that particular image, looks pretty good. Can glitch at times, though. That gives you a brief look at what a virtual background can do for you. And I hope I've given you some ideas in the ways you can utilize it in your own speeches and presentations. And I want to bring you back to that quote I gave you earlier about only getting one chance to make a first impression. If you go on a Zoom call for any reason and there's a cluttered background or a noisy mess behind you, what kind of first impression are you making? And just how much better could you make it? Thank you.